Used by approximately 1.35 billion people around the world, English is the most spoken language on the planet, and more people speak it as a second language than as a first language. However, it's not the easiest language to master, with pronunciation being particularly problematic. I blame our very unhelpful spelling. Well, in this video, we're going to look at some of the hardest sounds in English that even some native speakers struggle with. Ah, the TH sound. Did you know that there are actually two TH sounds? It's true, a voiced TH and an unvoiced or voiceless TH. Both sounds are produced in the same way, but as their names suggest, one uses voice and the other doesn't. To produce these TH sounds, simply place your tongue loosely between the teeth, not too far out. Then allow the voice or air to pass between the top teeth and tongue, creating friction or vibration. Here is the phonetic symbol for this sound. Repeat these words after me. The, then, with, weather. Okay, try this sentence. Then the boy ran off with the weather vane. It can be tricky. Then we have the unvoiced or voiceless TH sound. Here is what it sounds like. And here is the phonetic symbol for the sound, which actually looks like a tongue sticking between the teeth. Repeat these words after me. Thank, think, thief. Excellent. Try this sentence. The thief thanked his father for thinking of him. The thief thanked his father for thinking of him. Good. Now, French, German, Russian and many other languages don't have a TH sound at all. So it's no surprise that this is often mispronounced and replaced with alternatives like d, f, or even z. The dropped TH is also a feature within some British regional accents too, like Cockney, for example. He's my brother. The English R. Internationally speaking, it's a peculiar beast. We have a smooth, flat R that doesn't roll or tap like it does in many other languages. Right. In contrast, the Spanish R is elaborately rolled. This is also known as a trilled R or trill. Other European languages like Italian or even German also have a trilled R. How does your language treat the R? Our R's are really rock and roll. Beyond that initial difference in the pronunciation of this sound, the English R is also non-rhotic, which means we do not pronounce it when it's immediately after a vowel and then not followed by another vowel. Like in words such as hard, warm, floor, doctor. This is in contrast to American English, which is the dominant variation of English being taught around the world. Therefore, if British English pronunciation is what you're going for, then you'll need to flatten and in many cases disregard that R. R. The V and the W sounds. Oh, did you know that V and W are treated as the same sound in Urdu and Hindi? So creating differences between these two sounds when speaking English can be a little bit tricky at first. And did you know that there's no V sound in Thai? To make things more complicated, most languages only have one or the other, even though in some European languages they have both of the letters. How confusing. Let's look at these two sounds side by side. You'll soon see that there is a big difference in production. V, w, v, w. With the V, v, get your teeth involved. The top teeth should be touching the bottom lip. With the W, w, forget the teeth. They should not be involved. Round the lips and w, w. Easy. Okay, repeat these after me. Wow. Vow. Wow. Vow. Try this sentence. I vow to wow you. I vow to wow you. Right, so technically we have covered 5 sounds. 2 THs, a rock and roll, R, a V and a W. But I'm having such a nice time, so I'm going to carry on. Okay, this one is more like 3 sounds in one. The ED ending isn't really a sound, but more a misleading spelling issue. Not following? Let me explain. In English, ED is the ending used for regular verbs in the past tense, and that simply means that we use it a lot. What makes it complicated is that there are 3 ways to pronounce this ending. In essence, there are 3 sounds, but only 1 spelling. Oh, tricky. So, how do you know which one to use? Well, I've got a little trick that will help you here. The easiest to remember is when ED is pronounced as id. Id. This is used when the base verb ends with a D or T. For example, complete becomes completed. Need becomes needed. Haunt becomes haunted. Now I have a little trick to remember this particular one, and it's to remember the phrase stupid DT. Stupid DT. Now for me, DT stands for Design Technology, a class that I hated at college. Design Technology, stupid DT. But for you, DT could stand for a person that you don't like, perhaps. David Turner. Huh? I don't know a David Turner. Sorry if your name's David Turner. Or it could be Dr. Tremble, or doing training, or something like that. You choose what DT stands for, and then just remember stupid DT. Stupid has the id ending. That's the sound we're aiming for, id. And d and t are the sounds which have to be present in the verb for when we use the id sound. Does that make sense? Hopefully. Maybe that's a stupid way for me to explain it. Let me know in the comments below. Slightly more complicated is when the ed is pronounced as a t sound. T. That's right. Ed is pronounced as t. You use this when the base verb ends with an unvoiced sound like p, f, s, ch, sh, or k, but not t. T is an unvoiced sound, but remember, that belongs to the previous rule, stupid DT, t, t, t. So not t, but p, f, s, ch, sh, k. Okay? So if the word ends in any of those sounds, then the pronunciation of the ED will be t. Not much to remember. Here's some examples. Pop becomes popped. Cook becomes cooked. Wash becomes washed. Hiss becomes hissed. Laugh becomes laughed. Now the last one is easier to remember and kind of the default as it's used for all other verb endings. So this is the d sound, which is used for all verbs ending with a voiced sound, except for d, which is obviously the first rule, stupid dt. Let's have some examples of when an ed is pronounced as d. Here we go. Play becomes played. Call becomes called. Enjoy becomes enjoyed. Save becomes saved. Bog becomes bogged. Dab becomes dabbed. Now, if I were to keep going, and trust me, there are many more sounds that cause my students trouble, I would mention the short vowel as in love and up, and the long vowel or, that needs mentioning for sure, and like her, word. Diphthongs would also need to be touched upon, as would the ch, ch. The L's need attention, and the H sound, I should have covered the H sound. Commonly constricted and even not pronounced at all. I should have covered the H sound. Free pronunciation mini course, which you can find by clicking on the link below. Whew. Save. So, is there a pronunciation that you particularly struggle with? If there is, then why not let me know in the comments below. Thank you for joining me. Until next time, take care and goodbye.